again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Program. What they've said to me is, I'm not supposed to ask any questions. You've got to pick up the phone right away because we've got so many calls.
Go straight in, eh?
Stacks of calls.
Okay.
Line 1.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Andrew Wilcox.
It's Andrew. Right, you through to Cliff, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Cliff?
Hi.
Could you tell me how long it took you to write your autobiography?
Oh, crumbs. Well, now, let me see now. It was over a period of about a year, mainly because I don't really write, you know. I mean, I didn't write the book by writing down a whole load of words on a bit of paper. I used lots and lots of cassettes, sort of put all my thoughts down on cassettes, and then really had it written out for me. I mean, I cheated, really. I'm not the greatest author in the world.
Did you sing into the cassettes, or did you...
No, I didn't sing at the cassettes. I just chatted about all my past and all the things that were happening to me and what I hoped would happen to me, and then it was all set out, and I went through it all to make sure it was all right, and it was. So it took about, I suppose, a period of about a year.
Oh.
There we go, Andrew. Thank you for your question. Line 3.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Tracy.
Hello, Tracy. You're
Tracy. Hi, Trace.
Hello.
Hi.
I just wondered if you prefer today's music rather than the music that when you first brought it out, and whether you're going to make any more films.
Well, I don't know about the films, because I think you need a lot of money to make films these days. I mean, I would hate to have one of my films come outside and be alongside Star Wars, which spent $4 million just on effects, you know. So unless they present me a whole load of money to make a really good film, spend all the money on a terrific film, I don't think I'll bother. As to the music, I mean, I love the music we did originally. The Shadows and I had a fantastic time, and you know, in a way, I suppose we helped get the rock and roll scene going in this country. Not by ourselves, there were others like Marty Wilde, Terry Dean, Billy Fury, etc. But we did kind of get it going. But I will say this, I think it's much more exciting now, because technically we can do so much more. You know, on record now, it's quite fantastic what we can do. There's very little we can't do anymore. You can make one person sound like an orchestra. In fact, my album, there are only 3 people on it. Myself as the singer, Alan Tarney, who did all the musical instruments, and Trevor Spencer, who played the drums. It's amazing what you can do. I find it very exciting these days.
He's frightened of crowds, you see, so he only likes to work with just a few people.
Can you say hello to my sister-in-law, Lee? She's a fan of yours.
What's her name?
Lee.
Lee?
Yeah.
Hello, Lee. Yoo-hoo.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the call. Line 5. Hello, 5.
Hello?
Who's this?
Donna Critt.
Hello, Donna. You're through to Cliff.
Hello.
Hello. Can
Hi.
you tell me what your nickname was in at school?
Oh, I was called Spider Web.
Oh.
My name was Webb, you see, so I used to get... I never went round everybody saying, hey, Spider here, but if they were being a bit nasty, they'd call me Cobweb or Spider Web.
Have you had any contact with school friends?
Yes, I went back to my old school I go back almost every year, but about 3 or 4 years ago, we did a special production of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, and we had old pupils, like me, new pupils, old teachers, new teachers, and we all took part in the production. It was great fun, actually, it was great. Have you got a nickname, Donna?
No.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, well, if you like, my sister's called Donna. We call her Don, Donna, Donella, the lot she gets, but no real nickname.
Thank you for your call, Donna. Bye-bye.
Can you say hello to my friends Kim Pope and Gary Pope?
Kim and Gary?
Yeah.
Hello, Kim and Gary.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Line 2.
Hello?
Hello, who are you two?
Lynn Moston.
Hello, Lynn.
Hello, Lynn.
Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I've got a white dog, a mongrel. In fact, they're both white dogs. One is a mongrel, and I suppose she's mostly Labrador, although, I don't know, a real mixture, but very nice, and her name's Kelly. And some of my fans gave me a dog called Emma, and she's a little West Highland Terrier. They're supposed to be absolutely fearless, you know, but this one's not. It sees a dog from about 100 yards and comes running back. It's quite hysterical. But she's a very sweet dog.
Could you say hello to my mum and my sister?
Yeah, hello, Lynn's mum and sister. Are they watching?
What are their names? What are their names, Lynn?
Well, my sister's Paula and my mum's Sheena.
Right.
Paula and Sheila?
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Sheena.
Oh, Sheena, as in Easton.
No.
Oh, well, yeah, but close.
Never mind.
Thanks a lot for your call. Bye-bye. Line 4.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Nikki.
Hello, Nikki.
Hi.
Hi. Is that Cliff?
It says, actually, that's short for Nicola, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hi.
Can I ask you a question?
Please do, yeah.
Do you think that groups and singers these days should be encouraged to sing in small towns rather than trying to get famous quickly by playing in the big towns?
Well, to be fair, you know, record companies and management, etc., sink a lot of money into groups, and really to get that money back, most of the groups really have to play in towns that have bigger halls. It's a nice idea, for instance, when you're starting, to go and play the smaller places. I mean, I did. All of us go around playing the smaller places, but obviously, as you get more competition and as you compete more, you've got to go into bigger places because you need bigger sound systems, bigger lighting systems, and it all costs money. And that tends to be the reason why most groups try and play in bigger towns, because they've got bigger halls. And I suppose I don't think it's asking too much to have people come, say, in 10 miles to watch a gig, particularly if you're going to see a group you think's really fantastic. But, I mean, it is nice. I like your idea of having groups go around to the little towns, and maybe some of the bigger groups ought to do that too, but it is a matter of money, really. It's a matter of whether they can afford to go to a small town that's only got, say, a 200-seater, and they can't get enough money to pay, unless you all pay 200 quid each. Well, we'll come and do it then. Then I will pay for the lighting and the sound.
I don't think it's a bit unfair, though, if it's far to travel to, say, Wolverhampton or Birmingham.
Well, it's unfortunate. I don't think it's unfair. It's unfortunate that maybe some people can't afford the travelling. But what you have to remember, for instance, when I go on the road, I mean, it costs so much. Just before you even start the show, it costs about £3,000 to pay for your band.
Why don't you go by bus, then?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't mean me. I'm travelling on the road. The travelling.
I see.
The travelling's the cheapest. It's the... he doesn't know anything about this sort of show business angle, actually. It's the cost of the lights, the cost of the sound, the cost of the musicians, and when people like myself go on the road, we have to have the real best musicians, the cream musicians, and they cost a lot of money, and they're worth every penny. But it means that, you know, you're already running at a terrific loss, so you have to play big halls so lots of people can come, so you can get enough money to pay all these people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not unfair, actually. It's just unfortunate that some people do live slightly out of town.
And congratulations on Dreaming.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right, it's coming up in just a little while, so if you like that one, stay tuned. Yes, coming in a moment.
Bye-bye.
Right, we're rattling through them here. Line 6.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Anita Cochran.
Hello, Anita, you're through to Cliff.
Hi.
When you, at home, does your mum call you Harry or Cliff?
All my family call me Cliff, funnily enough, because when I first picked my name out, it was through a whole load of names, and I finally decided on Cliff Richard, and I thought, oh, that sounds good, and particularly with the Drifters, it sounded good with the Drifters. I went home and I said to my family, you know, I've changed my name to Cliff. They went, oh, all right, Cliff. And from that moment onwards, honestly, it was as easy as that. In fact, my sisters, the fact that some of them are watching, in fact, all of them are watching, I think, if anybody made a mistake at home and said Harry, they go, oh, sorry, Cliff. You know, that would go on. So I've had no trouble with the change of name. It just happened overnight, and everybody calls me Cliff. Funny enough, I don't answer to Harry anymore. The only time it ever happened was at this play I mentioned. I was telling you about going back to my old school to do a play. There were some of the teachers that were there when I was there, and while we were rehearsing, one of the chaps, Mr. Johnson, his name was, he said, Harry. I went, yes. And it was like being back, because we were back in the old school hall, and it was exactly the same atmosphere. And it's the only time I remember in the last 22 years actually answering to the name of Harry. It's Cliff now.
Right.
When you're walking along the road, when people see you and they shout at you and things like that, do you get embarrassed?
Well, if they shout, get off, I do. But if they just say, hello, I don't really mind. It's not embarrassing, it's quite nice, really. It can be a bit of a nuisance, for instance, if you're trying to do a bit of shopping, and you've got 10 minutes, and you've got to get into, you know, the local supermarket and do it. And that can be a bit annoying. It's not embarrassing, but even then, you know, it's not too much to put up with, I guess.
Can you say hello to my cousins Karen, Jacqueline and Lorraine Gunn, please?
Karen, Jacqueline and Lorraine?
Yes.
Okay, hello, you three.
Thank you for your call. Line 3, who's on 3?
Adrian Jenkins.
That's an unusual name. You say Erwin?
Adrian.
Irwin.
Yeah.
Erwin.
Irwin. Erwin.
Anyway, you say Erwin and I say Irwin.
You're through to Harry. Cliff.
Oh, thank you. How much do you spend on clothes a year?
Pardon?
How much
How
do you
much
spend
do
on...
you spend on clothes a year?
Per year, I really don't know. I usually have a couple of spending sprees, usually one just before a tour, because, you know, unfortunately, when you go, say, on television and you wear a shirt like this, which is not much anyway, but once you've done it on television, millions of people see it. So, and people kind of seem to expect you to look different each time. So what I do is that once a year I go and have a good old freak out, buy a few things to wear on telly and on stage, and then wait for the next year.
Oh.
But, I mean, I suppose it is quite a lot, because the clothes that we tend to buy, we try and buy things, for instance, that no one else has got. It's silly, really, but it's one of those things you're expected to do, to wear clothes that perhaps someone else isn't going to be wearing. So it costs a bit more. It's not that they're any better than anyone else's, I'll tell you that. They fall apart just as quickly. The buttons drop off. But they don't look like anything else.
Do you choose all your clothes yourself, then?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I always do that.
Thank you very much indeed for your call. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll just hold it there for a moment.
Yeah.
Can we do a swap? You always seem to manage to bring along
I've got 3, actually.
Excellent.
Are they all going to be swapped together?
Well, please, yes, if you don't mind putting it to a...
Anybody that saw the Shadows and I reunion concert would have seen that shirt. I wore it on stage then. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And I thought, if a girl won it, it's a great disco outfit, and if a boy wins it, you better get into a band. So that's the shirt from the London Palladium.
Don't go out alone.
No. Then I've got the album, I'm No Hero. Now, I guess if anybody does actually win it, they could choose a cassette. We could let them have a cassette or the album, depending on what their machine is.
Great.
And I've got a new book coming out.
Oh, really?
Surprise. It's a bit premature. I mean, it's not out till the 13th of October, but it's a Christmas book called Happy Christmas from Me. And it's all sort of facts about Christmas and my feelings about it, and hundreds of pickies, all new ones too.
Great. Super.
So 3 swaps.
We need a question.
I thought of a really simple one. I mean, I've already shown the album, but I haven't shown the back because the answer's on the back. Who produced I'm No Hero for me? I've already mentioned his name tonight.
Right.
Today, rather.
Tonight.
I keep thinking it's night. The studios always look like night to me.
Right, well, that's simple enough. So who produced the latest LP? Lovely. Thank you for all
Listen,
those
can
things.
I say I like my nephews and nieces?
Yeah.
There's 6, 8 of them.
Oh, fine. That's
There's
all right.
Claire.
I'll time you.
Wait, I'll give you that. There's Claire and Roger and Ruth. That's one lot. There's Danella and Daniel and Lindsay. That's another lot. And there's Emma and Tay.
Right. Pick up the phone. Back to work. Line 5.
Hello,
Hello.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Robert Needham.
I'm Robert.
Robert.
I'd like to say to Cliff, what is your favourite sport?
My favourite sport to play, I think, is tennis. And I think it's my favourite sport to watch as well, although I do like watching a good football match if there's a good match of the day or something, although I'm not really a 100% football fan. But for instance, if there's a really good match on, everyone says you've got to watch this match, I must admit I do find it entertaining. But tennis is my favourite sport to play and watch.
Could you say hello to my sisters, please, Paula and Emily, and their mum?
Paula and Emily and Mum as well. Hi. Oh, I heard them shout back.
Thank you very much indeed for your call, Robert. Do we have another one? Line 4's just come up. Line 4. The phone people are working hard today. Who's on 4?
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
This is John Hammond.
Hello, John. You're through to Cliff.
Hello, John.
Cliff, what
Hi.
football team do you support?
Well, the nearest team that I support is West Ham because 2 of my vocal groups support them, and if I didn't support them, they wouldn't sing for me. So that's the team that's going to have no spectators today, isn't it? And that's a shame.
Yes, when they play that match, you get plenty of room if you want to go.
Yeah.
Plenty of room to spread.
I reckon that my 2 vocalists might be there, actually. Oh, no, they won't, because we've got rehearsals this afternoon, so they better not be there. Tony and Stu, you better be with me, mates.
OK. Did you want to know anything more about the football? Was that it?
Oh, that's it.
OK, thank you very much for the call. And
Bye.
that's it. Unfortunately, time
Ran out.
beats us yet again.
My coffee went cold.
But you're about to lunge into the most amazing tour, aren't you? Which is going to be very tiring.
Well, it's the tour I've done. It's the Apollo that's going to be the next 3 weeks of my life. Will be at the Apollo in the Apollo.
Yes.
In Victoria, in London.
Do you find that sort of concert setup is exhausting?
Well, it is, but I tell you what, it's not as exhausting as being on tour because at least I get home every day. It means I can sleep late if my dogs don't wake me up.
Right.
And being in one place is a big, big help. I mean, in actual fact, everyone thinks that we get tired, and we do. I mean, the artists do get tired, but the guys that I really feel work the hardest are our guys that put up the sound and the lights. When you're doing one-night stands, it takes them about 5 hours to put it up, and at least 3 hours, 4 hours to knock it down again. So they're working way over the top. So with one venue, they put it up at the beginning of 3 weeks and take it down at the end, so I bet they're all thrilled.
Right. The reason I mentioned that was that I've got a weekend cottage down at Pigot's Bottom, a little place called Dingley Dell.
I know all about that cottage.
Do you fancy coming over for the
I'd
weekend
love to.
relax?
Yeah, that'd be
We've
fantastic.
got a tennis court.
Before I get going at the Apollo.
Yeah, because we've got a tennis court, and you could come along. Oh, the only problem is tomorrow morning I've got to do my Radio 1 show from there.
Oh, I see.
But,
well, that's all right.
You wouldn't bring your guitar, would you?
I'll take my guitar along. Why not?
Great, thank you very much. Well, I hope the Apollo goes well, and well, if you want to hang around, I'll give you a lift down there
All right.
a little bit later.
Okay.
Piece of music that was mentioned earlier is coming up right now. Do you want to introduce Dreaming yourself?
Yes, I think it's the most wonderful record in the charts at the moment.
Fine. Incredible speaking.